What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's beautiful project. This is the Chrysler Cordoba, one of the new cars from the latest DLC. Looking a pretty sweet, quite old school, very classic. Loving this bad boy, looking very good. Don't forget to come and join us on Discord for the competition, where there are still 3 DLC prizes up for grabs. It is going to be closing this Wednesday, with the winner announced from the main thing on the Thursday, and then the 2 other winners announced as soon as we can get that all worked out after that. So make sure you come over and join us. Link in the description below. Build one of the chosen cars and try your luck at winning a copy of the DLC for yourself. But let's talk about this Chrysler Cordoba as we jump in. It is the standard edition, the only version available. You can get it from the barn, the junkyard, or the auction house. And we got ours from the junkyard. Doesn't happen very often, but we do every now and then. Did we get a good deal for this little bad boy? We did. 6,260 is what I paid for it, and I could already sell it for 7,596, making a cheeky little 1,336 profit before we even jump in and start messing around with anything. Quite pleased with that. The engine in this one is another brand new engine, the V8 LA360. Sadly, this one's only got 193 base horsepower. We will obviously be increasing that as much as we possibly can today and giving this its day out on the drag strip, trying to see how it compares to everything else on the speeder board. Nothing new so far has made it even close to the top 10. I think we're sort of talking top 50s is about the closest for everything. And I'm pretty sure the Chrysler Cordoba won't be able to make it there either. So let's get this beast started. Let's get it over to the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. In the car wash with the Chrysler. Let's get it cleaned. It looks like it's a bit of a green underneath all that dust and grime. Will it be staying green? You've seen the thumbnail. You already know. I haven't decided yet. In my head, I'm sort of toying between a white and a light blue, but we'll see what the colours are when we get this one into the paint shop a little bit later on. Let's get that interior done. Get this beast back on the lifter. Get that V8 ripped out of there and start stripping everything else down. In the air we go. Let's check for the oil pan. There is no oil pan, so we've got nothing to drain out of there. What have we got going in? I might have zoomed out just a little bit too far there, but there we go. Let's start by getting out this drive shaft as it is there and attached. Does look like we are missing a lot of the exhaust, though, if I'm being honest. Out you come, a lovely little drive shaft. No starter, so I am going to add that to my shopping list right now, so I don't forget it. We are missing a lot of the exhaust there, but we can deal with all of that later. Let's just get in and get this gearbox out with your one rusty bolt. Not too bad. We're missing quite a bit from that engine as well by the looks of it. So we're going to have to sort that out as well. But let's get you off. Let's get this back down on the ground and try and rip that LA360 engine out of there. Let's go and grab the crane, open the hood. And we didn't miss anything. That's what we like. Put that crane away and see what we've not got, as the case probably will be in this engine bay. We are missing most of it. We're missing the fuel tank and fuel pump down the back there. We're missing all of the exhaust running up through the middle, the battery, the power steering reservoir, which is quite large, the brake servo, the wishy-washy reservoir, some fuses, and the lid to the fuse box, and also that radiator C just there as well. We're going to have to get all of that sorted. Obviously, we've got no liquids to drain or anything like that, so I'm just going to go on and get the rest of this out of here, which is just this fuse box. Oh, and that fuse there. Missed that one. There we go. Get all of that out. And then when we come back, it'll be time to work on this beautiful bodywork before heading it into the paint shop. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded. Now we need to sort out all of this bodywork, so let's start stripping it down. Let's get off that hood. I was hoping this would be a whole front bumper, but it's not. The headlights are just separate on there. Out you come. Front fender, off you come. Is there generally nothing else on there? Doesn't look like it. Windshield, out you come. At doors, we don't need you for the moment. Body window, out you go. No trunk window. The trunk, out you come. Tail lights, license plate, and rear bumper from the back there. At least there's quite a lot of it. No body window on that side. No door on that side. That looks to be about it from there. Let's get in and get this one new item of interior out. We will check the rest of them out a little bit later on, but I think that should be it. Let's jump into this screen. 1% on there. And that's not the right screen. There we go. Nothing showing up on there, so we have stripped everything else out. The frame is at 7%, and I bought the car for a little over 6,000. I don't think this is going to sell for a massive amount. I'm going to go for 850. 1,000, not far off on there. Let's have a quick jump in and check out the body shop. Obviously, nothing tunable for the Chrysler Cordoba, whatever you want to call it. If we jump into the main and normal screen, there it is right at the top. Couldn't even see it. Everything is just a simple like-for-like replacement. So we're going to go and repair what we have to repair, replace what we have to replace, get this one all back together, and then get it into the paint shop, ready to throw on some lovely colours and see if there's any liveries to go with the Chrysler Cordoba. That's all the bodywork ready to go back on then. Let's start with this interior. Before we check it out, let's go into the shop and see it all there. The beautiful Chrysler Cordoba interior, new bench, new front seat, and obviously a new steering wheel. Just search Cordoba, comes up easy every time. So let's get it in, nice and simple. Lovely new bench in there. Lovely new front seats, and obviously that steering wheel. And it all fits in perfectly with the interior that's already there. Absolutely loving that. We may try and add a little bit of colour to it later. Nothing too over the top. Definitely like this interior all matching like it currently is. But let's crack on and get this body all back together, starting with the hood. Then we've got the front fenders, on you go and on you go. And then the beautiful headlights. They are nice looking headlights in there. Definitely not going to be tinting these. And I'm quite liking all the chrome on it. So let's just start getting it all back together. Keep going around. Just the driver's side mirror on this car. There's no passenger side mirror. They didn't need them back in the day. At least that's what they thought anyway. I'm pretty confident we do have to have one on either side today. But there we go. In we go with the rest of all of this. In you go. Mirror, window, mirror. Definitely meant window. On with the door and then in with that last window there. And that should be everything for the bodywork. Apart from the license plates, we've gone for our VM plates with Cordoba written on them. Very fitting because it's a Cordoba. Nice and simple. On you go there. On you go there. Let's have a look. Did we get everything? 100%. 100%. 100%. Fantastic. Let's get this beautiful little Cordoba into the paint shop. See if there are any liveries and decide which colour we're going to go with. In the paint booth with the Chrysler Cordoba. Looking not that nice in that green. That's the current colour or the factory colour green on there. Not my favourite, but let's move on. Are there any liveries? Sadly, there are no liveries with the Cordoba, which is a bit of a shame. But let's look at the factory colours in there. This deep grey blue. I don't even know what to call that. That is quite a deep looking colour on there, though. Then we've got a solid white, which I was definitely tempted with. Sort of a light grey, medium grey. Then this light blue, which I do think looks really nice on it, which we may end up sticking with. Then we've got this sort of darker blue, which is definitely a little bit boring on there. This sort of gloss off red, don't even know what to call that. Then a lovely bright red, which always looks good, but we're not going for that. Then we've got that dark green that came on it, plus two other sort of lighter greens. This one's sort of a bluey green or a pea green. I don't know what you'd want to call that. Not what we're looking for today. Then a couple of browns and a sort of goldy beigey colour that does match in with the interior, but not what I'm thinking today. I'm definitely liking the look of this blue, so that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with that lovely solid factory blue on there, looking quite nice. Does look good with all the chrome, so I think we're going to go for some chrome accents on the engine. Maybe try and put a tiny splash of that blue, or maybe even white on the interior. Not to overdo it, though. I definitely want to keep all of that beige in there as it all matches in and looks fantastic. And then the suspension, probably a lot of chrome in there. Maybe a bit of white and a bit of blue as well. We shall see. But there we go. That's the colour we've gone for. This lovely solid blue on the Cordoba today. So let's get everything painted. Get this beast back on the lifter. Start getting it all back together. That's everything painted. And I'll be honest, not much has changed. All I've added is a splash of white on that steering wheel there. Nothing else at all has been added so far. If we just jump in and go into interior mode and crouch down, I could basically get these bits here to go blue or white, along with this bit here and the seatbelt clip at the front, but it just looked too much and too out of place. And all the underside and the seatbelt clips at the black, either in blue or white, was quite, it looked quite good. Very easy to change the colour of the seats. Just was a little bit too much for the kind of build we were going for today. And I wanted to keep all of that sort of beigey, creamy colour on the inside. Just a splash of white in there just to finish it off, looking pretty good. But let's get it up in the air so we can start getting this suspension together. Starting with our lovely shocks. We've got white shocks, blue springs, and some white caps on there. Keeping the blue going with a splash of white as well. Let's get underneath and start getting some of this in. Starting with that beautiful cross member, which we have done in a chrome. There's going to be lots of chrome on this build, looking pretty good. So I'm going to crack on now, get the rest of the one-sided suspension in, show you a few little clips, and we'll talk about it in just a moment. Just putting on that blue brake drum now to finish off the rear suspension, or one half of it at least. We've got the white plate, the blue hub, and then obviously the blue knuckle with the blue leaf spring, and then everything else in either white or chrome on there. Looking very nice. Let's get up the front, if I could get there, and see what we've got going on there. Obviously, we've seen the white shock with the blue spring. Then we got the upper and lower suspension arms, both in a white. Chrome cross member, chrome and knuckle on there. And then obviously that chrome sway bar end link with white through the center, blue into white on the inner and outer tie rod. White hubcap, white knuckle, and then obviously blue caliper and the blue wheel hub on there. Looking very, very good. Sort of keeping the blue theme, splashing some white, and keeping on with that chrome as well. The fuel tank in here. We've done that one in a cheeky little blue with the fuel pump in a lovely little white on there. Now I'm going to crack on, get the rest of this suspension all finished up. We sort out the engine bay before going and building that beautiful LA360 V8. That's all the suspension done in a beautiful blue, white and chrome, and looking absolutely fantastic. What do you think? Do let me know down in the comments. But let's move on and get this engine bay all sorted out and ready to go. Starting with the battery, and we've got the power steering reservoir and the brake servo just up there. Round to the other side, we've got that fuse box in a lovely white with the wishy-washy reservoir just in there, and the radiator in a white, obviously not quite as bright as that fuse box, but looking very good in there. That's the engine bay done. Nice and simple on that one, very quick one. But let's go and build that beautiful V8 engine. Keeping on with the white, blue and chrome theme, we got chrome and blue on the engine heads there, looking nice. We got white and blue on the engine block, and just a cheeky bit of blue on the oil pan down there. This engine head is already done with its rocker arms and valve push rods and spark plugs all in there ready to go. We nip over to the other side. We just need to get this side all finished off. So there are 8 valve push rods in total to go in there. So 16, 8 for either side, 16 in total. Then we've got rocker arms. There's 2 of them, or 1 on either side. Nice and simple. And then spark plugs just down the bottom there. 4 on each side. So 8 of them in total as well. Let's crack on with the front of the engine. Cam gear in you go. Then we got a lovely timing chain on top of that with the timing cover in a chrome and blue. Just a little bit of blue on there. The water pump itself is in chrome and white with just a little splash of white on the front there. Looking nice. Get you all bolted up and in. And then we've got a lovely little arm just on the side in the blue with the alternator in blue, chrome, and a little bit of red because we couldn't do anything with that one this time around. Bit of a shame, but it's still looking nice on there. Power steering pump is in chrome, blue, and red again. A few splashes of red, mostly with that chrome and blue on there, looking nice. Crankshaft pulley is in a lovely white. The idle roller is also in a white. And then we've got blue on the water pump pulley and a little bit of blue on that ignition coil, just on the lettering and the barcodey bits down there, looking nice. The belts are both obviously in black, same as we always do. I just think it gives them that slightly nicer finish. And then we got the radiator fan in a lovely chrome just on the front of there, looking absolutely fantastic. Let's crack on though. Let's get these head covers on. These are just in a white. I did want a splash of white just to be able to shine through for the whole of the engine. Obviously, I do want a lot of chrome in here, but just a few splashes of white and a bit of that blue just to keep it all together. Then we got the intake manifold. That is in a chrome and blue. Just that little hose on the front there shows up blue. Everything else shows up chrome, looking very nice. Ignition distributor just down the back here. We've got that one in a chrome and blue. Just some accents on there in the blue, looking good. Rotor not painted, and then the cap on top is in blue, but it is mostly white, just with the little bolts just on there. Both in blue on that side and that side. And then the clips, just to finish them off, are also in a lovely little blue. In you go. And then the fuel filter, just in a cheeky white on there. Let's carry on, though. Carburetors, they are in chrome and blue, looking very nice. Keeping on with that chrome theme. Then we've got the base, just in a little white with our lovely red performance air filter. And then the cover on top, just in that cheeky little blue, just to really finish it off there. The exhaust manifolds, these are in white, and yes, the rest of the exhaust was all in white underneath, looking absolutely brilliant, hopefully. We'll see in a minute. Onto the other side, let's get you in. If I could press the button and make it go. Looking good on there. Then we've got the oil filter, also just in a white, going in with that blue exterior piece on there. And then the ignition wires, if I could click on them, there we go, are also in a lovely little blue on there. Chrome, white, and blue. Looking very, very nice. Let's get it dropped in to the Cordoba, or however we're saying it. and check out how it looks. In you go. Let's get this crane put away. And let's have a look. Loving the white and blue on there. And then the chrome all underneath looking good. Let's go into photo mode. Just get up a little bit and see what's going on. That's looking very nice in there. Liking that. What do you think? Again, do let me know in the comments below. But we've got to get this one up in the air. We've still got that gearbox, a drive shaft, and them exhaust pieces to go in to get this one all finished off and ready to go. I definitely did not want to start all the way down the back there. I want to get up the front and get that gearbox in, which we have done in a white, matching in with the engine block on there. Looking very nice. Starters just in a cheeky little blue, just to separate it all up a little bit. And then we obviously already know this exhaust is all in white. And these back pieces are one massive, great piece that goes all the way from the front, all the way down the back there. On you go in your lovely white. And then the last piece to go on is the drive shaft, which we have done in a chrome, just to add a splash of shininess to the underside of this beautiful, beautiful vehicle. So let's get it crouched down. That's not crouch, let's walk sideways and have a look as we come out underneath. Plenty of chrome, a few splashes of blue, and a little bit of white in there. Looking very good. Back down on the ground you go. We're going to get the windows tinted, the liquids all topped up, beautiful wheels done, and get this Chrysler Cordoba outside in the sun. Well, there we have it, all finished with the beautiful Chrysler Cordoba. Looking absolutely fantastic in this incredibly light blue. A little bit of white accents throughout the car, obviously mostly in the engine and a little bit on the suspension and that exhaust there, but looking absolutely beautiful. I have done 2 sets of wheels for the, well, 2 sets of tyres at least for this one. Right now we've got on it obviously the white walls. We've got slicks that are exactly the same size. They're just going to go on the rims for the drag strip. And we will get a dyno result to see what the drag rating is for both with slicks and with normal white walls on it. Not normal, classic white walls, whatever you want to call them. We've gone for the Cordoba rims today. Absolutely fantastic. Very easy to find in the rim shop. Just type in Cordoba or however you pronounce it, and they will show up nice and easy. The front rims we've gone for are a 17-inch rim with a 225 width and a 60 profile on there for the fronts. The slicks are exactly the same size. Down at the backs, they are 17-inch rims still, but with a 285 width and a 50 profile on there. And again, the slicks that will be going on it are exactly the same size. Let's jump in and check out this interior. As I said, no colour on the rear bench or the front seats. Just a little bit of colour on that steering wheel. Adding a splash of white in there. Looking good. Loving all of the woodwork in these interiors. It was so much better back in the day, in my opinion. But let's get it started and see what this one sounds like. Nice style tick over, very grumbly. Liking that one a lot. So let's give it some gas. Bit standard on the top end there, but it still sounds mean nonetheless. And I love that tick over. Absolutely fantastic. Let's get this beast into the dyno. One dyno run with the white walls on. One dyno run with the slicks on, just to see what the difference is. We'll get that done, and we'll head over to the drag strip. Just finding out what its drag rating is with the white wall tyres on instead of the slicks. Let's take a look. The only thing that should be different should be that drag rating of D157. Quite low with just the white walls on. We have managed to gain a little bit of power from this one. 147 horsepower gained. 3/4 of an engine, bringing us up to 339. But before we move on, let's whack some slicks on this beast and see what else it comes out with. Now we've got the slicks on, and let's see what the drag rating will be this time. Obviously from that LA 360 V8, 193 factory horsepower. We've already seen how much we've added and what its total power is, but let's see the difference. Drag rating of C at 212. Now with the white walls, it was a D157, so that's quite a big difference on there. Obviously still exactly the same gain of 147 horsepower, and the measured horsepower still up to 339. Just the drag rating that changes. We will do the drag races with the slicks on, but we will put the white walls back on when we come to sell this one at the end. But before that, let's check out the gearbox tuning setup. I'm stuck on the fan. There we go. Kept it in the same 3 gears that it starts with. Messed with the ratio a little bit, but definitely messed with all 3 gears, changing their positions. Got it to a 66 kilometers an hour in first gear. It starts at like 103 or something like that. Up to a 250. We already know this isn't going to be the fastest car we've ever sent down the drag strip. may even come at dead last on the speeder board. I certainly hope not, but we will have to find out. There is no ECU in this one, but there is one single carburettor. So there is a link to the short for the carburettor videos just up in the corner there or in the description below. But our carburettors are tuned and ready, or carburettor is tuned and ready. So let's get this beast onto the drag strip and see what we can do with the Chrysler Cordoba. Here we go then, with a drag rating of only C212, the Chrysler Cordoba is ready to take on King of the Sands tournament, 1 mile, and we're going in with C-Class, which is only a 600 entry fee. That's a little bit different. Who have we got in here today? Our first race is against the Jaguar E-Type. Absolutely loving that one in there. We got Buckshot in with the Edgewood Wildcat. Who else have we got with us? Mietzi in the Tempest Magnum Full Face Proto, which is one of the competition entry cars you can build this time around, along with the Echo's Cobra Venom as well. So that's quite interesting that they're in there. But let's get on with our first race against that beautiful Jaguar E-Type. Oh, the E-Type Jag is such a beautiful little car. The body lines on that are just absolutely stunning. Not a big fan of that specific colour, but there we go. Up against our beautiful blue Cordoba with the LA 360 V8. Who's going to take the title? Are we going to go out in our first race? Let's find out. Let's go. Off the line. Come on, little Chrysler, you can do it. Into second. We only have one extra gear at the moment. We are just about beating that Jag. Hopefully it will stay that way. Into top gear. Oh, the Jag is catching. Oh, I think we might actually be going out in the first round. I'd rather that wasn't the case. We have no more gears. And I think that Jag is just going to keep pulling away, knocking us out in the first round. We will go and do a couple more 1v1s. Get 3 base time down on the board, even if we do go out. Just a bit gutted to go out in the first round. It is a Jaguar E-Type, though, so there we go. Let's get these across the line. And, yeah, we've got out in the first round, which is definitely a little bit disappointing. What did we get to? Well, I mean, we had it in the quarter of a mile there with 13.893 seconds. To the 1 mile, we had 36.394 seconds. And that beautiful Jag had 36.111 with a considerably higher top speed than we had. Obviously, ours was 215, 9 kilometers an hour faster to the 1 mile. But there we go. We've gone out. Let's see who's going to take the crown in this tournament and go and do 2 more quick 1v1 races just to get some base times down and see what the best time is for the Chrysler Cordoba. Both Buckshot and Mietzi are still in. Who's going to make it through to the next round? Let's just get on with it, see who's making it through. Buckshot's out, and Mietzi is also out. So we've got the Jaguar E-Type, the Bolt Reptilia S, the Bolt Atlanta Supercharged, and the Category Tamago XTEK. Who's going to make it through to the next round into the final? It's not the E-Type, it's the Bolt Reptilia S versus the Category Tamago XTK. Who's going to take the win for this tournament? It is the Bolt Reptilia S. Now, sadly, we paid our 600 entry fee and won absolutely nothing from going out in the first round. So we're 600 extra down. No winnings from the drag strip from us today. But as I said, we will go do 2 more 1v1s just to get some base times down. In we go then to the 1v1, 1 mile, 3 randomizations, 1, 2, 3. And we've got the Ford Fiesta Open Class with off-road tyres. Slightly better drag rating than us, but I don't think it's really set up for it. But let's find out. Let's give it a bash. The Open Class Fiesta, a very beautiful, mean-looking car. And they've actually stopped it. This is, I believe, either this year or next year is going to be the last iteration of the Ford Fiesta. At least I think that's what I read on the internet the other day. You shouldn't always believe what you read on the internet or what I say either anyway. So let's try and beat that Ford Fiesta with our Chrysler Cordoba. There's only one way to find out if we can do it. Let's go. Off the line. We obviously know that this isn't the most powerful car we're ever going to see in that Fiesta. It is off-road tyres, is easily pulling away from us there. But never mind. We're not fussed about a win. We just want to get some times down for this one. On to the speeder board. I've just got my finger pressed down on the W key, accelerating as hard as I possibly can to get this little beauty across the finish line in a time slightly better than our first run, which was the 13.893 to the quarter of a mile, 36.394 to the 1 mile, with a top speed of 215 kilometers an hour. Have we beat it? Across the line, let's have a look. 13.881 to the quarter of a mile, ever so slightly faster. Happy with that. 36.397 to the 1 mile, ever so slightly slower, so we're not definitely pleased with that one. But the same top speed of 215 kilometers an hour. One more to go. We'll do one more quick 1v1, then we'll get this beast back to the garage, try and sell it on for a little bit of profit. 3 more randomizations then. 1, 2, 3, and we're against a Plymouth Roadrunner. This is a mod Plymouth Roadrunner, not one that came with the DLC. So let's just get in and try and beat that one, although I definitely think this one's going to be more of a challenge with the 440 V8 Hemi in there, but we shall find out. The final race of the day for the Chrysler Cordoba versus the Plymouth Roadrunner mod, not from the DLC pack. That one is from the mod, not from this DLC pack. Just to clarify that one, we need to try and beat it. I'm not sure if we're going to. Are we going to be 3 for 3 losses today with the Chrysler Cordoba? Let's find out. Off the line. Come on, you little beast. We obviously know. Oh, that was terrible. That's probably cost us the race if we did have a chance of winning it anyway. But let's find out. Bad gear changes. Never mind. Yeah, that Roadrunner is definitely pulling away from us. I didn't think we were going to beat it, but it was always worth a shot. So potentially, we're not at the finish line yet, but potentially 3 for 3 losses for the Chrysler Cordoba. So far, definitely the slowest car from the DLC pack, but we never expected this one to be the quickest. This is more for going to pick up your shopping at the weekend. Let's just get across the line and see if these times were better, although I doubt it. There we go, across the line. 14.295, so yeah, definitely our worst run of the day to the quarter of a mile. 36.894, also our worst run of the day to the 1 mile, but the top speed's still the same, 215 kilometers an hour. So what will be going down on the speeder board is 13.881 to the quarter, 36.397 to the 1 mile, and a top speed of 215 kilometers an hour. Let's get this little beast back to the garage, see if we could sell it on for some profit. We also got to put those white walls back on this bad boy. The LA 360 motor looking beautiful in there, but sadly not quite our best run down the drag strip with this bad boy today. We managed a top speed of, top times of 13.881 to the quarter of a mile, 36.397 to the 1 mile, which was a bit of a shame, and a top speed of 215 kilometers an hour from this beast, which, well, you know, definitely not the quickest. Could have been a lot better. Pitting at 83rd out of 85 on the speeder board, so definitely one of the slowest cars we've ever had. The slowest going to a 3-star Volkswagen Beetle, which was a bit of a surprise, but there we go. Talk some facts and figures. I bought the car for $6,260 and could have sold it and made some money on profit of $1,336 at the beginning, but we didn't do that. We spent another $49,046 upgrading and modifying, tuning, and getting this beautiful car to how you see it in front of you right now, pitting our total spend at $55,306. Can we make some profit from this beautiful car? Let's get in and take a look. All 100% finished, just how we like it. And that engine ramped up still by quite a bit, from 193 horsepower up to 339. A gain of 76%. Not too bad at all, but we spent $55,306 getting it to where it is. Is there money to be made? There is a bit of money to be made. Happy with that. With a sale of $84,536. That leaves us with a profit of $29,230 from this beautiful Chrysler Cordoba. Absolutely loving it. Definitely not the fastest, but definitely a beautiful looking car. Time to say goodbye, though. Off you go. Really enjoyed that one. And just while we're here, and we've already got it outside, the Huna Pegasus finally made its run up Pikes Peak with Leah Block, the daughter of Ken Block, behind the wheel. Absolutely fantastic. I loved seeing that. No official recorded times because it was just a showcase run, as it were. But it was so nice to see this car finally make it up Pikes Peak. But anyway, back onto what we've got coming up next. You already know the last two that are coming in the following few days. But up next, we have got the beautiful 1968 Dodge Charger RT. Absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite cars of all time. It's just such an iconic and beautiful, beautiful car. It's available in the barn, the junkyard, and the auction house, and we got ours from the auction house. It's in pretty bad shape, but not as bad as the 2 junkyard builds we've done recently. I'm still liking it. Did we get a good deal on this one? Absolutely not. Bought it for $26,308 and could sell it for $23,913. Losing out on $2,395. So hopefully we'll be able to claw that back when we come to build this beautiful Dodge Charger. The engine in this one, unfortunately, isn't a new engine. It's one of the renamed older engines, the V8 Hemi 440 Magnum. We've done the 6-pack twice now, I think, but we haven't done this Magnum yet, with the new cars at least. Anyway, so that's what we're going to be working on next time. Comes with 375 factory horsepower. So make sure you join us back here on Wednesday when we come to build this beautiful Dodge Charger. Absolutely loving it. What did you think of the Chrysler Cordoba? However you say it. Wasn't the fastest car we've ever had on this channel, but it was a nice looking one nonetheless. We only have 3 cars left from this wonderful, wonderful 3-in-1 DLC pack. We've obviously got the Dodge Charger, the Plymouth Roadrunner, the normal one, not the 426 Hemi, and that beautiful standard Hellcat. We've already done the wide body. Let me know what you thought of today's beautiful build. Leave a cheeky little like. Share this video if you want to share it with someone you think will enjoy it. Most importantly, though, make sure you are subscribed. Hit that big subscribe button, the notification bell, so you always get told when a new video from me is out. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Have a fantastic day. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.